Hey guys, Eric here with Crazy Rides channel, and today what we're going to do is we're going to do an installation of my new headlights from A10 Moto. They're the incinerator headlights, and they're for 2015 to 2023 road glides, Harley Davidson road glides. These lights right here, and we're going to replace these headlights. Those are the stock headlights on my Road Glide Limited, 2020 Road Glide Limited. And as I got older, the lights are not as bright for driving at night, so I need something brighter. So I think those will do it. Okay, let's get started. First, I took the seat off. You'll have a little nut in the back here. You unscrew that, and you just pull the seat off. Then I'm going to take the front fairing off. All right, let's get started with that. Okay, first thing we're going to do is take off the screws that hold the windshield. If you've never taken the front fairing off, it's pretty simple. You got two screws here, two screws there. You're going to use a 3mm Allen key to take them off. They're pretty simple. After you do that, you're just going to pull up the windshield, put it on the side. After that, you're going to take off the screw on the side here, right here. Okay, you take that screw out on both sides. And you also take this screw here out. This one's a Torx, and that's going to be a T25. And this one here is going to be an Allen 316. You have another Torx here. You pop off your speaker cover. Okay, as you can see, there's clips on the side. Okay, on the top and the bottom. And pop that out. And you loosen up this screw as well as on the other side. You loosen it up, but don't take this one out, because this is going to keep the fairing on, and I'll show you how to take it off later on. But the rest of the screws you could take out and put them aside. So I just took off the windshield. These are my side blinker lights, as well as marker lights. Go over here and just hang them over here for now. Now with this part here, so it got clips, so you just pop it up and take it out. Remember, when you put it back in, it fits in the slot here. Make sure it fits underneath the slot, the lip. Once you take off the black vent piece, make sure you unplug any kind of marker lights or whatever you have attached to the fairing here. That goes in here. Unplug that before you loosen up any other screws to take off the front fairing. Okay, so all the screws are out except this speaker screw right there that's holding the fairing in. All the screws are out. Okay, that screw as well as the one underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this in place with my body and unscrew this screw. Okay, take this off, unplug the headlight, and that should be it. Okay, what you want to do also is take off your saddlebag, if you have one there, and take off this side cover, just pulls out, and you will take out your main fuse so you don't short anything out. Okay, and you get to the battery. I got a lot of stuff connected to it, so what I do is I zip tie everything together so it's all organized like that. And then we're going to take off the gas tank and route the wires through as well. But first, I'm going to take off this headlight. Okay, to take off the headlight, first you got to remove the side pieces over here. These are lights here, but you might have just black like spacers here. So to take those off, you have 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So you take those off. After that, you take off the headlight. You have 2 here on the bottom, 1 over there, and it's right in the back there. So you just follow this groove over here and you'll find it out in the back. Once you take the light out, this is the part that you unplug from the headlight. Now this part here attaches to the headlight assembly on top. So you just pop these out right now, and that's it for now. So let's get I think we're gonna have to take these off to get the headlight in. But in any case, we're going to take the gas tank off now. So with the gas tank, you have that screw right there, in there, 1 on each side. You unplug this first. Okay, this is a quick release. So you just push this up, push this silver part up, and pull this down. Make sure you have a rag here, just because you might drip out a couple of drips. So you don't want it on the bike. And we take this screw off, as well as the 2 side screws over here. That's holding down the tank. And also you have this this hose here that we separate. But we'll tell you how it's going as we take things off. Okay, so we had to remove the vent to give more room for the light. It's pretty simple. You have a screw right there. Yeah, that screw. And you have one on the inside, right there. And that's it. And you just kind of pull it down and out. Okay, when you take off the gas tank, first you want to take off the top trim here. You're going to use a 5/32 Allen key to take this screw off on top. And you're going to use a 3/8 for this screw ratchet or wrench and take this one off as well. I loosened it up already. Okay. Also, make sure you have these wires disconnected, as well as pulling out your vent hose. Also disconnect this hose right here, connects together. Just disconnect it right there. And we're ready to pull off the top trim. You also want to make sure you take off the cap. Okay, and just kind of wiggle it off a little bit. Got some hoses underneath that you'll just detach on the hook over there. This one here is off already. So we'll just open that up and loosen up the hose, and then the top trim comes right off. After we took the center trim off, or console, we want to take these two screws out. Okay, we're using a T40 Torx to take these off. Okay, let's take these off now. Piece of advice: take pictures of everything before you take it off, so you know how it goes back, if you have short-term memory like me. Got both of those screws off now. Now we got to get the screws in there. Okay. Same size Torx. Make sure you use a large extension and be very careful. You don't want to damage anything. I have lowers here because this is a limited. So just be gentle. Take them both off. All right, we'll do the other side now. Okay, just a quick reminder, if you can't find these bolts, you probably have these covers on them. Okay, they're just rubber covers. You pop those off, if I didn't mention it before, to expose the bolt. Okay, both sides, both screws are off. Let's pull off the gas tank. You want to try and make sure that you have the least amount of gas in here so it's not as heavy. And there we go. Our gas tank is off. And now we could run the wires for the light under here. You have a bunch of clips, some tape all around to take this cover off. So let's get to that. So we just popped off this cover. It's all clips on the sides. Just make sure you pull out the wires. They're held in. Okay. This here is part of it, but this just pops out. This holds the wires in place. You just pop that out first, and then unclip everything. Pull this out from over here. Unclip everything, and then it just pops off to expose your wiring. And this is where I'm going to put the headlight wires running to the battery. Make it nice and neat. Okay. Okay, with the gas tank off, we're able to send the wiring through a little area through in here. And that wire will go. That wire came out up in here and will be under the gas tank in here and then connect to the battery. Ran the wiring down under here from the light up front, and it's coming out right over here in the corner. Okay, this snaps back in place. I just laid the gas tank on top. I didn't bolt it down yet. And then you just put your positive and negative wires, hook them up. With the positive wire, it comes a wire with a fuse. After you hook it up, you plug the wire coming out of here into the box. It's a separate piece. The negative over here is just comes out from the wiring itself. But the positive, you hook up the positive and then you plug it in. You'll see what it looks like in the package. And I had to clean all this up. I had a lot of wiring because I have a lot of lights on this bike. So I had to organize it some. Looks pretty good right now. But yeah, so then I laid this on top. I'm going to bolt it down now with this bolt, and two on the other sides, right in there, and one on the other side. All right, let me get that done. And then we'll put the console on the gas tank. All right, All the bolts are in. There you go. Make sure you use a little Loctite, blue Loctite, you know, because you don't want these to loosen up at all. With all the vibration and stuff. Alright, now we put on this plastic piece here. This will go like this. And it just sits over here like this. And then we put on the console. Let's get the console and hook it up. This is the console. We're going to mount it on here. We got to take the gas cap off. The console has a plug, plugs into here on the gas tank, and then this just covers up. Okay. You got two wires coming out of the bottom, as well as a vent hose. So let's hook that up. Might have to turn the handlebars a little bit to get this on. Make sure you put a little Loctite on there. And we got another bolt over here. Now we have to fish this wire to the bottom. So we got to get it through here, all the way down, straight down. Fish this hose down through here. Here, down here. Here it is right there. And it comes out right over here. I'll tie wrap this. Stays. That's it with the gas tank. Snap in the gas valve. Push up on here. That's it. Make sure you have a rag underneath. The little gas might come out. Also, these two wires coming out of here, they snap into these two. Everything's color coded, so you know where they go. Just snap them in, and that's it. All right, let's start putting in the headlight. We're about to put the light on. The harness here. This plugs into the light, the headlight plug. Everything's watertight. Also, they give you a splitter here for these two lights on the sides. Okay. With the new harness, you have a dimmer. There's a sequence for a dimmer. That's where you plug this in. And this one stays unplugged unless you have turning lights for the sides. That will be used for that. Also, this plug has two wires like this. You just leave them. They don't hook up to anything. Okay? And these hook into the light bars themselves. There are two of these. One for the yellow, one for the amber, one for the white. All clear. So you got the two of them right here. Doesn't matter which one you hook up to where. They both go on at the same time. So, all right, let's put this together. Okay, so I installed the lights. Sorry, the background noise. Here's my fan. It's a little warm today. What I did was I connected everything in the rear. Now I have an amp under there. So I had to make sure all the wires were clear. There's your two screws right there for the top and two screws there for the bottom. So what I did was when I first installed it, you originally take out these vent ducts, okay? I kind of didn't like it because it's all open in here. And I didn't want to look through and look at wires and stuff like that. So what I did was I took the ductwork, I took the ducts out, and I just cut them a little back, like that, to clear the light. And now I don't have to look at any wires or anything like that. Just, as you can see there, it's just ductwork going on in there. I also am going to put screens behind. So they're going to kind of be like this. This was just a mock-up job for a template for some new screens. I'm going to put them in like this. You know, it's not going to have this much space. And I'm just going to tack it in there and hold it in place. So, just waiting for the screens to come in the mail. And we'll modify those and put those on, and then put the bike back together. But otherwise, the lights are really bright. These lights here have a dimmer. So if you get the lights now, in the harness, there's a dimmer, built-in dimmer, and there's a sequence that you use to, with your high beams, to dim it and make it not so bright. Here we are with the finished product. Put everything back together. I put an angry eyebrow on there. Kind of looks cool. I also, as you can see, I put in a screen there. I had to modify it. I cut it around so it would fit nice, so I don't get any bugs in there. But I had to screw it into the plastic with little screws. You can't see them because the fairing is covering it. But after I screwed it in, I painted the screws as well, black, so you really can't see it. Can't see it anyway because of the fairing. But I did it on both sides. Came out real nice, took my time with it. And that's it, there's the finished product. So let's turn it on. It's damn bright. It's really bright. So it's flashing like that because of the video. But I also have spotlights on here as well. That's what everything on. Pretty cool. All right. Well, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification, give a like, give a comment. If I could help you guys out with whatever I did, just shoot a message in the comments, and we'll see you next time.